Hello, my name is Francine Scaboria and I work at SafeBerks. SafeBerks is the local nonprofit that serves survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. All our services are free, available 24 hours a day, confidential, and available in English and Spanish. Thank you for joining our show, and I want to welcome our guest, Nicole Bowman. Nicole is the local group leader of Moms Demand Action. And I want to thank you for joining us today. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in Moms Demand Action.
Sure. So I'm a mom. I have 2 small children, and I'm a writer by trade. But when I was pregnant with my youngest son 6 years ago, Sandy Hook happened. And it was, I had a 2-year-old and I was pregnant, and it was a really, anyone in this country would be devastated by that story. But I was just starting to bring my son to preschool, and it was just a really hard news story to hear. And as I was bringing him in the parking lot at the preschool, I was seeing a few moms wearing these red t-shirts that say Moms Demand Action on them. And the full thing is Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. And so I started asking, what is that shirt? And little by little, I started learning about this organization that is really modeled after Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and what moms did as activists and as lobbyists in terms of cutting death by drunk driving back when that was happening. This is what Moms Demand Action is doing. And so, I started going to some meetings. This is a national organization, and actually the founder, whose name is Shannon Watts, came to the preschool and spoke. So I started learning more and more about the organization and getting involved as I could with such small kids and a baby on the way.
Yeah, this is wonderful, and all the work that you've been doing is as a volunteer.
Yes,
so you've been
all volunteer,
giving your time, and I'm so glad you mentioned that parallel with the Moms Against Drunk Driving, because it does seem like this is the next generation of mom activism and female, and there are also many men and fathers involved, but the Mothers Against Drunk Driving made such a huge impact on our country for the better.
Right.
And now your organization is kind of following those footsteps.
Right.
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
And SafeBerks, I want to mention, has partnered with Moms Demand Action, and on September 6th, we had a joint press conference at SafeBerks to voice our strong support of House Bill 2060, 2060, and that is the Domestic Violence Protection Bill. So I know you've been involved in a lot of this, trying to get the word out. How's that going?
Well, it's a long process. In fact, Moms Demand Action in Pennsylvania has been working on that bill for 3 years.
Wow.
So it's a very long process, and that is a bill that will safely and quickly secure firearms from convicted domestic abusers, those domestic abusers who have had their day in court and have a PFA against them, final PFA. This will close loopholes in the state law so that those firearms shall be relinquished within 24 hours. Right now it's 60 days, and they will have to go to a licensed gun dealer, an attorney, or the sheriff, and right now it could go to any third party. So those 2 really big loopholes will be closed by this bill. It will save lives. The numbers when it comes to domestic violence and guns are really shocking. 78 people in this state were killed last year by a firearm in a domestic violence situation. Oh. So that bill is really important to us, and we've been really fighting for it. And unfortunately, in June, we really thought it was going to get voted on. When it was in the Senate as Senate Bill 501, it was voted on unanimously by the state Senate. So we were really excited. It voted out of the Judiciary Committee in the House, the same bill, but just called House Bill 2060. And then unfortunately in June, it was delayed. And then they went off on break, and the start of session was even delayed an extra week, and they just started this week. So we were there yesterday to rally and to have a press conference about this bill, and we met with all the representatives. And Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence was there, and they had a new number for us. Since June, when the bill was not voted on, and yesterday, the number was over 35. More than 35 victims in Pennsylvania were killed by a firearm in a domestic violence situation. So this bill, there aren't many days left in session, I think 6 or 7. We're hoping it gets voted on, and it's a really big deal.
This is so important, and I want to mention that today's date that we're filming is September 25th, 2018, and that as things progress in the future, both Moms Demand Action and SafeBerks will be continuing to work on this issue, in addition to trying to get this passed now, working on strengthening our society to protect people from gun violence. And I really liked what you had said at our press conference, which is, I don't want to say it wrong, something like, none of us are anti-gun, we are anti-gun violence. And there is a difference.
Big difference.
There is a huge difference. I mean, we all respect the right of people to own firearms legally in this country and to hunt, but we do not appreciate abusers using guns against their families. And also we wish to protect the brave police officers who are called out to these issues of domestic violence. And police officers have often told me that calls for domestic violence are among their most dangerous calls they receive. So I think most people consider this really a common sense bill, you know, to protect families, innocent families, and to protect brave police officers who risk their lives every day to protect our families. So I really appreciate what you're doing. And what can people do if they want to get involved?
Sure. So we meet, our group of Moms Demand Action in Berks County meets every month. Our next meeting is October 16th.
Okay.
And that meeting's at West Lawn United Methodist Church. We often meet there in their community center.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we'll have a few experts at that meeting. We're going to have a former judge, Art Grimm, come, and he's going to speak. He's really had a lot of experience in his time as a judge with children and the effects of gun violence and trauma on them and their futures. And we're also working with people in the medical community at Reading Hospital, trauma surgeons and pediatricians to come and talk. And then we'll have a lot going on for the elections, because we work with legislation. We have a lot of candidates in Berks County who have the Moms Demand Action gun sense distinction. So I would really recommend anybody to go online to momsdemandaction.com and find out which candidates have that distinction, if this is something that matters to them, because and then obviously to vote.
Yes.
And then the most easy way to get clued in with us is to text the word READY to 64433, and that will get you into our system so that you can get text messages when we have meetings or when we have actions.
Excellent. So there's so many ways to get involved. Go to the website. And I also want to mention that when we had our press conference on September 6th, we appreciated, in addition to Nicole being there and our CEO, Mary Kay Bernosky, speaking, we appreciated that Representative Mark Rozzi and District Attorney John Adams were also there speaking in support of this. So I want to thank Nicole again for your time today. And if you want any more information about SafeBerks and our services, check us out online at www.safeberks.org.
Thanks for joining us. This is the place you start. Visit us at safeberks.org or by calling 610-373-1206.